Welcome back, everybody, here to Scott High School in Danville, West Virginia. Chris Kidd with you. Alongside me, Butch Mounts, our engineer, godfather of video productions himself, here today as we are ready for our second game between the C teams of Lincoln County and Danville after Danville's B team won in convincing fashion, 32-0, just moments ago. Lincoln County on first down. We'll run it up the middle. Not a whole lot there on first play. Just trying to find an opening was Jordan Gillespie, the 7-year-old. That'll bring up second down and 10. Again, you'll see the coaches on the field throughout this game. Try and help monitor and make sure that everyone is okay and get lined up correctly. Again, these are the youngest division of all of them. I'm just trying to make sure that everybody's okay and on the same page. Panthers come to the line of scrimmage here on second down and 10. They'll line up out of the shotgun formation. Snap will come back, and under pressure, hit as he tried to get rid of it, and incomplete. Coming up and making the hit that time was Jimmy Loftus, 7-year-old for the Danville Hawks. That'll bring up third down and 10 now for the Panthers. Again, Lincoln County's B team had one first down, and that was on the second to last play of the game. Just moments ago, as that snap comes back and bobbled, wisely just diving on top of it, was the quarterback Silas Barrett for a loss of about 3, and that's going to bring up 4th and 13. So as we said in C-team ball, there is no punting, but if they choose to flip field, then they can flip it 30 yards the other way, and that appears to be what the Panthers will elect to do here on 4th down and 13. So they'll spot the ball at about the 37-yard line. That's where the Hawks will start their opening possession. It's a good stand by the defense to get things going, and now the offense will go to work. At the conclusion of this game, we'll still have one more game coming your way here this evening from Danville as the A teams from both sides, the oldest group, will go to battle. Again, there you see the coaches for Danville making sure everyone on the offensive line lined up correctly. And again, this is just about safety more than anything else for the younger kids. It's a nice handoff and hole right off the right side that time, able to get across the 40 out close to the 44-yard line, as that'll be a pickup of 7 on the play. Second down and 3 it'll be now for Danville. It appeared to be Cole Lovejoy who got the handoff that time. Again, there you see the defensive coaches for Lincoln and offensive coaches for Danville, trying to make sure everyone knows their assignments for the play. They come to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback, Riker Belcher. Under center. 3 running backs behind him. Belcher give it off to the first man through off the right side. Nice hole across midfield. Good cutback into Lincoln County territory, and spinning free once again inside the 45 for finally going down is Rodney Ratcliffe. Great run by Ratcliffe that time. And it'll be a first down for the Hawks. They spot it down at the Lincoln County 42-yard line. Once again, get everyone lined up, and it's really nice to see that you got a couple coaches on the field, one coaching the backs and the quarterbacks, one with the line, other with the secondary, other with the defensive line. Because obviously with so many people on the field at once, it'd be too hard for one coach to try and make sure everyone's aligned correctly. Belcher will keep it himself this time off the fake. Has a big hole, and now he escapes inside the 35. Breaks out of a tackle. Belcher on the run inside the 10, the 5, and Belcher will score. Touchdown Danville on the quarterback keeper by Riker Belcher. And with 3:34 to go in the first quarter, it's Danville with a 6-0 lead on their first possession of the game. Again, if you're watching on our screen, we're just trying to reposition our cameras right now in the press box to try and get some better angles and looks for you. So we promise we haven't gone haywire with it, but we're about set to get everything back in order here momentarily. You just saw the Godfather go by right there. So here we go now, 2-point conversion. They'll hand it off right side, but Lincoln County able to shut it down. And 2-point conversion no good, but Danville does lead it 6-0 right out of the gate. We'll be back after this as you are watching Danville Youth Football action with us right here live on Video Productions. Lincoln County now with the ball for the second time here this evening in this C-team contest as Danville went down and scored on their opening possession. Now Lincoln County trying to find some positive yardage on this series, and they get it right away as rushing off the far side, Silas Barrett able to turn it upfield across the 40 to about the 41 as he'll pick up 6 yards on the carry. And we'll bring up a 2nd and 4 now for the Panthers. And that was a similar play that the B team ran that got their lone first down of the game earlier today. Now they have blockers set up all on the far side for Barrett or Silas. He'll take it off this time, and he gets a lot of space across the 45, the 50. And a first down for the Panthers, and great blocking scheme on the outside that time. Able to spring Barrett. You saw they just stacked 3 big bodies out there to the left side and allowed Barrett to go to work. A lot of that you have to do against these Danville teams because they're so big up front and so quick to the ball. You have to try and create some mismatches where you can. Lincoln County able to do that on that play in the first 2 plays of this possession. So now they set that alignment over to the right side this time. Same play, just different side as they try and get to the outside as Declan Price took the snap this time, and he'll lose a couple of yards as Danville was privy to what was coming that time. Able to collapse the pocket and drop that for a loss. So it'll be 2nd down and 12 now. As we head towards the final minute of play here in the first quarter. As we said, there's really no delay of game either in the C-team contest, as it's understood that they're going to take a little bit longer to make sure everything's set up correctly. So we could possibly be looking at the final play of the first quarter upcoming, as Lincoln County's backs and quarterback spending a little extra time to make sure everyone's on the same page, as they may have missed where they were intended to go on the last play, so just wanting to double check their sheets this time. And now we get a whistle before the play starts. And a flag comes in. I didn't see a whole lot of movement anywhere, but the back judge evidently was able to spot it. And it will go against Lincoln County. And that'll push them back 5 more yards as they wind the clock. And that will likely bring us to the end of the first quarter here as Danville leads it 6-0 after a touchdown on their first drive. As Lincoln County trying to get the play off here, and they will with 1 second left. It's bobbled by Barrett, runs to the outside, trying to cut the corner, now cuts it back inside, and he'll get it back to midfield for about a 4-yard gain. So that'll do it for the first 8 minutes of action. We'll be back after this break with quarter number 2 as you are watching Danville Hawk Youth Football with us right here on Video Productions. Start of quarter number 2 here from Scott High School as the Lincoln County Panthers, C team, with the ball at midfield. Here to start the second period. After about a 4-yard gain by Barrett, brought us to the end of the quarter. Now it'll be third down, about 13 now for Lincoln County. Snap it out of the shotgun once again with 3 blockers out to the far side. Rolling that way is Price, trying to cut up, and he does inside the 45. Spun down at about the 41-yard line. So now that makes things a lot more manageable for Lincoln County here on 4th down. It'll be 4th down and 3 after about a 10-yard pickup. So this definitely gives Lincoln County every incentive in the world to go for it now. Again, running off that edge to the left side with those blockers out in front has been the most effective play thus far for the Panthers. They tried it off the right side, but Danville was ready for it. Now let's see if they go back to the well again here on 4th down. They will move the alignment over to the right side. And again, this has been the side they've had trouble running this play to. They'll snap it. Price will keep it. Almost gets tackled, but breaks away. And now he's got the first down and more. One man to beat on the outside and a great open field tackle. Able to save a touchdown was Cole Lovejoy. But Lincoln County does pick up the first down, and they maintain possession. Now it looks like a player a little slow to get up here. On the near side, it looks to be Price, who was the one that was tackled just a second ago. So he had a great run and had to be brought down hard on that far side by Lovejoy, but thankfully he gets up under his own power. So he'll have to come out for at least a play. Most important thing, he's able to get up and get off the field on his own right now. So that'll change some of the personnel here for the Panthers for at least a play. They wind the clock as we head towards 6 minutes to go here in the first half. It's the second possession of the game for the Panthers. Danville's had the ball one time, and they went down and scored on their possession. But Lincoln County looking for the equalizer right here on this trip. Barrett will be in at quarterback this time. He and Price have been alternating on this possession. Barrett will take it to the far side, looking, waiting, now takes off, gets inside the 25 with a good cut, and then he's met head on at about the 21-yard line and driven backwards. Good form tackle there. Now Barrett appears to be slow to get up. So back-to-back plays, the quarterbacks for Lincoln County taking a lot of punishment. As Barrett appeared to be holding his hand or finger for a moment. May have just got himself jammed up. Hopefully that's all it was. Yeah, you can see it looks like he's got himself a little stinger as Price comes back into the lineup after being out for a play. Every piece of yardage and real estate that Lincoln County's been able to get on this drive, the Hawks have made them pay for it with some bruising hits. But nevertheless, Lincoln County knocking on the door now of the red zone. They have it at the 22-yard line of Danville, as Price will be the one to take the snap. They line up the blockers to the right side, but they'll run it left side. Nice little sneak attack there. Danville did a good job of not being totally fooled by it, and they hold it to just about a 1, maybe 2-yard pickup. But that was a good change of pace by Lincoln County and Coach Ian Barrett and company that time. They've been giving the similar look, and you want to just keep Danville honest, if you can, on which way you're going to run these plays. So even if you only just picked up 2 yards that time, you do kind of force the defenders to honor that they may run it out the back door if you're not careful. Price will do it again here on third down. Once again, though, Danville able to read it well and hold that to no gain. So it's going to bring up fourth down now and about 4 yards. Lincoln County will definitely go for it from here. They were able to convert on fourth down a moment ago. Keep this drive going. Now I guess it comes down to who they want trying to run this play this time, either Barrett or Price. And Price has a little bit more speed, but Barrett more size to maybe take on some tacklers. And they will go with Barrett this time out of that formation. He'll run it to the far side. Danville ready for it, and they drop it for a loss back to the 26-yard line. Great job by the Hawks defense anticipating it and getting through the line. And it'll be a turnover on downs. It's a good drive by the Panthers, but it'll end with no points. Now the Hawks get the ball back with a 6-0 lead. Only their second possession of the game. But the defense able to get the hold. Danville does get the ball to start the third quarter as well, so they'd love to try and get a score and get the ball right back to start the second half. Again, it was Belcher who was able to break free for that long touchdown run on that opening possession. Now he'll bring his team to the line of scrimmage here on first down with 2:52 to go in the half. It's Belcher. Gives the handoff, coming near side as Lincoln County there, and they're going to shut it down for a loss on the play. Just nowhere to go that time on the outside for Dawson Adkins. And Peanut Adkins, the 7-year-old, able to get over and create the 3-yard loss on the play. Second down and 13. Belcher gives it off. Big hole this time off the right side across the 30. 35 cutting back and just brought down by the shoestrings that time on the first down run by Rodney Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe's had a couple of big runs here in the first half. Now a minute 50 to go here in the second quarter. Danville with a first down, and they're on the move again. Just like the B team, this C team for Danville has a lot of playmakers on it. So anyone can hurt you at any given time as Belcher fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, finds a gap across the 45-50. Here he goes again into the open field. One man giving chase. Belcher trying to outrun him to the 10, the 5. He wins the sprint. Touchdown, Danville. Riker Belcher with his second touchdown run of the half, and both of them coming from long range out. And it is now a 12-0 lead for the Hawks with a minute 11 to go in the first half. You saw the Lincoln County defender closing and closing and closing, but just could not catch up in time. Belcher's got a ton of speed, and he was able to use it there with a great cut right at the initial line. Danville will now go for two, unable to convert on their first two-point attempt here tonight. Belcher will go under center, gets a snap, gives it coming near side now. Trying to break out of the tackle, able to get out of the first, but not the second, as a good tackle made on the far side as Tucker Lambert tried to be the man to run it in, but they're able to shut it down, and it stays a 12-0 lead for Danville. We'll step aside and be back after this as you're watching Danville Hawk youth football action here on Video Productions. One minute, 11 seconds left here in the first half. It's a 12-0 Danville lead as Riker Belcher has sprung two long touchdowns to give Danville the lead. They have scored on both of their possessions here today. As Lincoln County, first play, Barrett lost control of it and fumbled. He wisely falls on it in the backfield. Now Danville will call for time with 57.2 seconds to go here in the first half. Again, I believe both teams have all their timeouts remaining at the moment. Again, that long loss on first down does open up the possibility here for Danville to maybe get another look at it here at the end of the half. As we said, they do get the ball to start the third quarter as well. So Danville would love to try and get a third score and then get the ball to really put the pressure on Lincoln County heading into intermission. Barrett will stay in at quarterback here on this second down and 14 play. Low snap again gets away. Barrett picks it up. Under pressure, Lambert stopped for a moment. Now gives more chase, and this is going to be dropped for a big loss as Dawson Atkins able to get to him in the backfield with 46.4 seconds left. And there's the second timeout now for Danville. So that's another loss of 6 on the play on 2 errant snaps. Again, this coming after a very successful long drive by Lincoln County last time that just stalled at the 20-yard line of Danville. It looked like they might have a chance to go in to try and tie the game, and things just flipped on their head quickly after Danville got that stop. They get a quick score, and now a couple of errant snaps between the quarterback and center. It made this 3rd down and 20. They'll snap it back, looking to throw here under pressure and a sack back inside the 20-yard line. That appeared to be who else but Belcher getting the sack on the play along with several others crashing the pocket. And now Danville will use their final timeout with 40.4 seconds to go. And they'll get the ball back in excellent field position no matter what Lincoln County elects to do here. Again, if Lincoln County elects to punt, which appears like they probably will do, it would put Danville back near midfield. But right now, Lincoln County appears to be keeping the offense on the field here. I'm going to try and go for it. A little bit surprised by this. But Panthers, again, you have things to work on with the younger groups, so you want to try and do that just as much. You want to try and win the game. They'll run a play here on 4th and 25, trying to get to the outside and picking up about a yard or two, but not much more. And that'll give it back to Danville with 33.6 seconds on the clock. They have no timeouts remaining, but they do have a short field to work with here. So again, anything in the field of play now could be tough for Danville to try and get multiple plays off here, so you might have 1 or 2 that you're able to pull here. I know it seems odd to say with 33 seconds left, but obviously when you have the youngest group and even some of the older groups, even into high school, it's hard to get down no huddle offense at that age. So as we said, Danville might have 1 or 2 cracks at it here with no timeouts unless they're able to get out of bounds or if it's an incomplete pass. As Belcher gets the snap, they'll give it off this time off the right side. Not a whole lot there. As carry given to Lovejoy, but now we're down to 29 seconds, and almost thought I saw Lincoln County almost signal for timeout there, and Lincoln County's coaches were like, get over here. We definitely do not want a timeout right now. Now down to 13 seconds. Danville going to try and get one more play off here before the end of the half as we're down to 7, down to 6. Looks like they will get the play off as Belcher looks to keep it, gets to the outside, turns up field, has some space as he cuts back inside at the 10. He's hit at the 5 and brought down there just shy of the end zone to end the first half as the Danville C team leads at 12-0 as we head to intermission. We'll step aside and be back after this for the start of the second half as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth football action here on Video Productions. Start of quarter number 3 here from Scott High School in Danville, West Virginia. Chris Kidd with you. Butch Mounts, our engineer, cameraman here tonight from our second of 3 games. This Danville Youth Football tripleheader. Again, the B team for Danville defeating Lincoln County 32-0 in game number 1 today. Right now the C team, the youngest group, leading it 12-0. In about 10 or 15 minutes at the conclusion of this game, we'll have the A team for both Danville and Lincoln County close out the evening. Danville will get the ball from the 35-yard line to start out the second half as Belcher hands it off but fumbled. Ball on the ground. Let's see who's got it. It looked like it was recovered by Lovejoy that time. Lincoln County wrestled it away at the end there underneath the pile, but I thought they were going to say it was just ripped away at the last moment. But they do give the ball over to Lincoln County by signal. So a big turnover to start the third quarter. It looked like Price was the one underneath the pile that was able to take it away. And now can Lincoln County do something with it to start this third quarter and climb back into this game? Lincoln County was able to drive down inside the 20-yard line on their second possession of the game, but then weren't able to cash in on it before Danville went back down and scored. Danville nearly punched in a third touchdown before the end of the half, but the drive stopped right at the 5-yard line. Now Silas Barrett in at quarterback. Low snap. He picks it up, takes off with it. It's Lambert and company there, and they'll bring him down at about the 26-yard line. That'll be a loss of 2, close to 3 on the play. Now player down momentarily once again for the Panthers, as we don't have the number for that player that was getting up, but thankfully appears to be okay. So I thought it was Barrett, and maybe it could have been. Again, I thought I saw 28 get off the pile instead of 25. But nevertheless, thankfully the player down for the Panthers able to get up and appear to be all right. But they had their issues with snaps in the first half. They had several fumbled snaps. So you see they've moved Barrett up a little bit closer for the snap. So he'll get it, fakes the handoff, looks to come near side, but he's going to get wrapped up and brought down by several Hawks right near the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Loftus along with Asher Kingery appeared to be the 2 in on the stop. So that'll bring up third down, and they'll actually call a loss of 1 back to the 37-yard line. Looks like they're trying to adjust the equipment of one of the Lincoln County players right now, as they appear to have that situated. Let's see if they go with Price on this play. Again, he's not ran the ball a lot since he got hurt on a play back in the second quarter. But they'll go under center this time with Barrett on third down and 14. Barrett gets the snap. He'll keep it. Actually, another running back in at quarterback this time taking the snap. That was Theodore Likens, who was able to plunge forward for a couple of yards. Now it appears we have another Panther player down inside that scrum right now. Might have just got rolled up on. He gets help to his feet. So again, thankfully we haven't seen anyone severely or sincerely hurt tonight. Just maybe some bumps and bruises and scratches. That appeared to be Likens, the ball carrier that time, who was able to get up after being hit hard at the end of that play. That was a gain of 3, so now you're looking at 4th down and 11 for the Panthers. So we're halfway through this third quarter. This time it will be Price in at quarterback. He'll roll out to the far side. Thought about throwing, now takes off with it. Cuts back inside. He's going to get brought down at about the 31-yard line. It's good pursuit by Danville. And they'll take over on downs now. With 4:01 to go here in the third quarter. So the fumble by Danville on the first play of the half ends up not hurting them in the long run as the defense comes up with a stop. Now a little bit of confusion on the Danville side as they've had players coming on, off, on, off, on, and off again here, trying to get the right people on. As one of the coaches will run to the sideline now to try and perhaps get the player he wanted up off the bench. I think that's what he's instructing them right now, that they need to be over near where the ball is and paying attention so that if their number gets called, they'll be able to get out and get into the ball game right now. So I think they're trying to instruct some of the coaches along the sideline too, make sure they're within earshot of us. It's on first down, once again a fumble on the exchange. This time, though, Danville able to get it back. As Lovejoy able to fall on it. Back inside the 30-yard line. Looks like they'll mark it at about the 29 for a loss of 3 on the play. It'll be second down, about 13. They get to the line quickly this time. They'll hand it off, and boy, ran right into a brick wall that time. From Lincoln County, as coming up and making the hit was Johnny Adkins. Johnny Adkins, that's a big boy at 7 years old right there. You run into him, you're going to feel it. And that time, able to lay down the punishment for maybe about a half-yard gain. So it'll be third down and long here for Danville with 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Belcher will hand it off, trying to get to the outside as Ratcliffe now turns it upfield. Ratcliffe across the 40, the 45, put a little move on there and able to get to about the 47-yard line. There's a good open field tackle made, but looking like hurting his shoulder on the play, or elbow perhaps, was Barrett. Barrett saved that from becoming a long touchdown from Ratcliffe, but may have landed on his elbow or shoulder a little awkward that time. But that does keep possession with Danville on that 3rd and 13 conversion. They can continue to go to work on the clock as we're under 10 minutes to play collectively in this game. Belcher gives it off up the middle this time for Lovejoy. Not a whole lot there, but he does fall forward for a yard up towards the 48-yard line. After a couple of negative plays to start this drive on early downs, Danville will take the yard or two if they can pick it up. Just try and get the series started and try and get something positive to go into your play sheet with. Line up this time. 3 backs in the backfield. Belcher will keep it. A lot of good things have happened with the ball in his hands, and they'll do so again here. Inside the 40, 35, 30. A blocker out in front, trying to outrun a man to the corner. He's hit at the 10 and dragged down at about the 10, 11-yard line. Once again, Riker Belcher has just been phenomenal with the ball in his hands here tonight. He's had 2 long touchdown runs and nearly had a third right there. Almost had one near the end of the half. Again, a lot of us watching that maybe thought a horse collar on that. Again, rules are a little bit different at different stages, so I'm not sure if that was something that could be called or would be called in that situation, and maybe something that the coaching staff with Danville discussing with the official at the top of your screen. But that will bring us to the end of the third quarter, and Danville leading it 12-0 as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football right here on Video Productions. Start of quarter number 4 here from Scott High School as the Danville C team leading the Lincoln County C team 12-0 and driving deep into Panther territory again. They give it off quickly right up the gut and into the end zone. Go the Hawks again as Lovejoy gets him for his first touchdown run of the evening, and it is an 18-0 lead for Danville. Again, that was just a great quick hitter.
I can't see nothing.
And that was just a great quick hitter right back up the gut that time that Lincoln County looked like a lot of their defensive players weren't ready for, as it just snuck right by all of them. And an easy touchdown run for Lovejoy to push this to now a 3-touchdown lead. Now the Hawks trying to do what they haven't been able to do so far here this evening in this C-team game, and that's convert a 2-point conversion. So 0 for 2 tonight. Belcher will give it off. Nice little cut inside and into the end zone goes Ratcliffe as he scores the 2-pointer. And on the first play of the fourth quarter, it is now a 20-0 Danville Hawk lead. So we'll step aside and be back after this as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football right here on Video Productions. Danville with a commanding 20-0 lead now here early in the fourth quarter of this C-team contest. It's Lincoln County with the ball, and Lincoln County looking for their first points of the evening in either game right now. Again, the B team was shut out 32-0 earlier today, and now it's 20-0 as we start the fourth, is going to the outside. Not a whole lot there, and that's going to get swallowed up as Bowen Price had nowhere he could cut to, and now he gets up a little bit slow. And poor Lincoln County running backs have taken a lot of punishment here tonight. We've seen Barrett down a couple of times, Price down. That time, Bowen Price a little bit slow to get up. Lincoln County trying to find some points here before things get to our final clash tonight between both sides' A teams, which, as we said, will be coming up about 10 or 15 minutes at the conclusion of our C team game. Looks like a little confusion on the far side as they're trying to make sure they've got the right play in or where to block at, as Price trying to get a line. Now they go right up the gut here on this carry. As getting the call this time was Peanut Adkins. So he'll get up to about the 36, close to the 37-yard line. Officially spotted at the 36. So then it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 here for the Panthers as we close in on 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. As Peanut Atkins will come back over, quarterback. This is why you love C-team right there. Just coach runs over, picks them. You can't do that in about 10 years from now. They're going to be too big. But it's fun to do that whenever they're 6 or 7. So now they'll try and run it here on 3rd and 9 as big bottleneck right there in the middle of the pile, as that's going to be driven backwards, maybe for a little bit of a loss on the play. As players still diving in late, as ball may have come a little bit free, but appears to stay with Lincoln County as Price a little slow to get up, but he's helped to his feet as it'll be 4th down and 10. Excuse me, that was Peanut Atkins a little slow to get up. Lincoln County trailing by 3 touchdowns. They'll go ahead and go for it here on 4th and 9. And so they're going to elect a punt instead of go for it. So Lincoln County is going to put themselves on defense here with the field position being so in favor of Danville. As we said, it's just an automatic 30-yard punt from the line of scrimmage to change field position. In an A and B team, they'll allow them to punt. No kick returns allowed in B team play or even any rushes. In the older teams, they allow them to play it full out as they normally would in high school or middle school. But again, at these levels, it's a little bit more difficult to try and execute those things at this level. So just flipping field position 30 yards in the rule book was deemed to be the most fair thing to do. Danville will come to the line of scrimmage here. 4:54 to go in the fourth quarter. And snap got away from Belcher, but he gets it back, hands it off. Nice gap coming near side. And here comes Dawson Atkins. He's in the clear now. To the 30, the 20. Dawson Atkins is gone for 6. Now we look back, unfortunately, we see Laundrie laying back near midfield at about the 47-yard line. So hold everything. There's one Danville player talking with the official, and he appears to maybe be the guilty culprit, or he's talking for one of his teammates right now. And I tell you what, kid reminds me a lot of me at that age. All I wanted to do was argue with officials. I still remember one of my coaches calling timeout and telling me he was going to pull me out of the game if I kept saying words I shouldn't say, and I was about 8 years old. I was not a fun person to coach. I'll put it that way. I've chilled out tremendously over the years, but yeah, I took it way too serious. And every weekend was the Super Bowl. So thankfully, that young man handled things a lot better than I would have in that situation at his age. I just think my parents wore shirts and the crowd said, 65 isn't my child. I don't know who that is. Yeah, everybody else, hey, that's my boy. I know, not that one. He just showed up here. We don't know. Now they'll bring it all back, unfortunately, for Atkins after the long touchdown run. They'll do 1st and 10 all over again as the penalty occurred 10 yards upfield. They'll give it back to Atkins, and once again he'll get off to the races, and then once again we'll get a flag that comes pouring in. And once again, Dawson Atkins could be running for a touchdown. That's going to be all for naught. But he is definitely getting his steps in on this drive nonetheless. His flag is all the way back at the 40-yard line as a Panther a little slow to get up after the play, and it will be a holding penalty. And boy, poor Dawson Atkins, he's had a couple great runs, but yeah, right there you could see the hold in the hole that time to try and spring him. And while it did spring him for a touchdown, unfortunately for Danville, the officials caught it, and they'll bring it all the way back. You see Dawson Atkins, he kind of immediately turned around to start looking for a flag in case there was one, and unfortunately he saw one down yet again. So now Danville will try it once again here with 4:05 to play in the fourth quarter. As they'll mark it back, 1st and 14 officially at the 30-yard line. I'm not sure if either side called for timeout here or not. It appears maybe one side did. After the couple of long runs, I think everybody maybe needed a quick water break. But it'll still be Danville ball. They try and see if they can run a successful play here and hopefully not get themselves called back for a penalty. We saw 2 touchdowns in the B team game for Danville called back as well. So Dawson Atkins still in at running back here. As they'll give it to him for a 3rd straight time. He'll come near side, 35 to the 40, and goes down about the 44-yard line, right near the 1st down marker. So Atkins able to get the play off, and Danville does this time successfully. But now we have another player down on the field, and we've had quite a few down here tonight, mostly from Lincoln County's side, but thankfully everybody up and okay. As the clock signal to run now with 3:45 to go. As they'll mark Atkins just a yard shy of the 1st down, so it'll be 2nd down and 1 after a 13-yard pickup. And just kind of sense that maybe the defensive line and the defense of Lincoln County has started to get onto their last legs here after they stood strong for quite a while in this game. But it just appears that the dam is broken here in the 4th quarter. So I'll give it to Lambert trying to get to the outside. And boy, as soon as I open my mouth, great defensive play by Peanut Atkins breaking through and dropping that for a loss. So they tried that play with Lambert on a 2-point conversion earlier and couldn't quite crack the end zone with it. This time Peanut Atkins with a great read on that play, able to drop that for a big loss, about 6 yards, all the way back to about the 37. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 here for Danville with 2.5 minutes to play in the game. Belcher will take the snap. He'll give it off. Coming near side is Ratcliffe. Cuts up field. He's got the 45 near midfield, but he's brought down just shy of that. But he will have the first down. And that'll move the chains, and Danville will keep possession with 2 minutes to go here in this C-team game, as Danville overall looking to go to 2-0 here on the night. And again, the A-teams waiting in the wings right now, warming up down in the adjacent end zone, along with the Danville cheerleaders getting set for our final game here tonight. As we said, coming up about 10 or 15 minutes to the conclusion of this game. As handoff bobbled, now on the ground. Atkins wisely dives on top of it, right near the line of scrimmage for no gain. That'll bring up second down and 10 as we approach 1 minute to play here in the fourth quarter. And you know it's youth league play whenever you look over on the sidelines and everyone's sitting down. I used to pick grass out in the outfield and T-ball. I was a professional at cutting grass in the outfield without a lawnmower. It was about all I was good for. So give it off. Ratcliffe gets out of a couple tackles, and now here he goes into open space. He's down to the 20, down to the 10, and caught from behind at about the 6-yard line. And Ratcliffe nearly able to break it for a touchdown. As clock runs down to about 30 seconds, as we'll see if Danville can get up to run another play here to see if they can get in the end zone one last time. Down to 20 seconds, and Danville rushing to the line of scrimmage, as you see here in our Thornhill Auto Group instant replay. And right there, he was dead to rights, and then he was dead to rights again. I think the Lincoln County defense thought he was dead to rights, but he ends up squirming free. And now they give it off to Ratcliffe outside, breaking in, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown as the horn sounds. And Danville wins it 26-0 as they got that last play off right as the horn was ready to sound. And here you see it again on our Thornhill Auto Group instant replay. They go right back to Ratcliffe. They've got them down the field and then gets them into the end zone one more time as they win it 26-0. What a performance by the B team and C teams here tonight for Danville. And now the A teams will come up next for our final game this evening from Scott High School, as you are watching Danville Hawk Youth Football action right here on Video Productions.